right, we'll get started. It is 6 o'clock. Good evening. My name is Sharice Vickers, and I am the Executive Director to the City of Newburgh Industrial Development Agency in connection with the proposed project that is the subject of this public hearing today. Today I'm holding this public hearing to allow citizens to make a statement for the record relating to the involvement of the agency with the proposed project for the benefit of IV5 Newburgh South Logistics Center, LLC, a Delaware limited liability company. The proposed project consists of the following. A, the acquisition of an interest in a parcel of real property consisting of approximately 49.60 acres located at 700 South Street, Newburgh, New York, the land. 2, the construction and improvement of a new warehouse distribution building on the land totaling approximately 416,320 square feet, the facility. And 3, the acquisition and installation therein and thereon of related fixtures, machinery, equipment, and other tangible personal property, collectively the equipment. The land, the facility, and the equipment hereinafter collectively referred to as the project facility. B, the granting of certain financial assistance within the meaning of Section 854.14 of the Act with respect to the foregoing, including potential exemptions from certain sales and use taxes, real property taxes, real estate transfer taxes, and mortgage recording taxes, collectively the financial assistance. And C, the lease with an obligation to purchase or sale of the project facility to the company of such other person as may be designated by the company and agreed upon by the agency. The company will lease the building on the land to a company which will be determined. I intend to provide general information on the agency's general authority and public purpose to provide assistance to this proposed project. I will then open up the comment period to receive comments from all present who wish to comment on either the proposed project or the financial assistance contemplated by the agency with respect to the proposed project. Legal authorization and powers of the agency. City of Newburgh Industrial Development Agency, the agency, is authorized and empowered by provisions of Chapter 1030 of the 1969 laws of New York, constituting Title I of Article 18A of the General Municipal Law, Chapter 24 of the Consolidated Laws of New York, as amended, the Enabling Act, and Chapter 577 of the 1982 Laws of New York, as amended, constituting Section 913 of said General Municipal Law. Said chapter and the Enabling Act being hereinafter collectively referred to as the Act. Purpose of this hearing. Pursuant to Section 859A2 of the Act, prior to the agency providing any financial assistance as defined in the Act of more than $100,000 to any project, the agency, among other things, must hold a public hearing pursuant to Section 859A of the Act with respect to said project. Since the proposed financial assistance will be provided by the agency with respect to the proposed project may exceed $100,000, then prior to providing any financial assistance as defined in the Act of more than $100,000 to the proposed project, the agency must hold a public hearing on the nature and location of the project facility and the proposed financial assistance to be provided by the agency with respect to the proposed project. The company has requested the following financial assistance. A 10-year payment in lieu of tax agreement pilot at an estimated value of $4,185,659. B, an exemption from mortgage recording taxes at an estimated value of $280,818. And C, an exemption from New York State sales and compensating use sales tax at an estimated value of $1,507,500. It is dollars. It is noted that the requested pilot is consistent with the adopted uniform tax-exempt policy of the agency. The agency has previously engaged a third-party municipal services firm, MRB, which has assessed the proposed project and developed a written cost-benefit analysis which identified the following economic impact benefits to the City of Newburgh from the proposed project. A, the construction phase of the proposed project will create 105 jobs that will generate $92,200,000 in wages. B, the proposed project will result in 254 permanent jobs earning $19,900,000 in wages wait a minute, is that, yeah, 19,900,000 in wages on an annual basis. C, Orange County will benefit from an additional one-time sales tax revenue of $60,433 associated with the construction wages earned during the construction phase, and an additional sales tax revenue of $2.3 million related to new wages earned from permanent jobs. D, the proposed project will generate an increase of $5.3 million in additional property tax revenue on the current taxes for Orange County, the City of Newburgh, and the Newburgh Enlarged City School District, which in total, the fiscal benefits of the project will be approximately $6.8 million over the life of the pilot. The first public hearing was held on March 27, 2024. The executive director of the agency caused notice of the first public hearing to be A, mailed on March 6, 2024, to the chief executive officers of Orange County, the City of Newburgh, and the Newburgh Enlarged School District. B, published on March 6, 2024, in the Times Herald Record, a newspaper of general circulation available to residents of the City of Newburgh, Orange County, New York. In addition, the executive director of the agency caused notice of the first public hearing to be posted on February 29th on the agency's website and also on a public bulletin board located at City Hall, 83 Broadway, Newburgh, New York. After the first public hearing, the company submitted an amendment to the proposed project to the agency on May 23, 2024, which amends the estimate of jobs to be created by the proposed project, from 200 full-time equivalent and 25 part-time equivalent jobs to a range starting at a minimum of 30 full-time equivalent and 1 part-time equivalent jobs, and ending with a maximum of 200 full-time equivalent and 25 part-time equivalent jobs. Based on the changes to the proposed project, the MRB Group updated the written cost-benefit analysis, which amended the previous findings of economic impact and benefits to the City of Newburgh from the proposed project to the following. A, the construction phase of the proposed project will create 105 jobs that will generate $9.2 million in wages. B, the proposed project will result in a range of 37 to 255 permanent jobs earning between $2.9 and $19.9 million in wages on an annual basis. C, Orange County will benefit from an additional one-time sales tax revenue of $60,433 associated with construction wages earned during the construction phase, and additional sales tax revenue between $204,853 and $1.4 million related to new wages earned from permanent jobs. D, the proposed project will generate an increase of $5.3 million in additional property tax revenue on the current taxes for Orange County, the City of Newburgh, and the Newburgh Enlarged City School District, which in total, the fiscal benefits of the project will be approximately $5.6 million to $6.8 million over the life of the pilot. Based on the changes to the proposed project and the changes to the findings of MRB Group, the agency, during a regular meeting on June 17, 2024, passed Resolution 2024-06-17-04, authorizing the agency to cause a second public hearing to be held to hear all persons interested in the proposed project. The executive director of the agency caused notice of this second public hearing to be A, mailed on July 8th to the chief executive officers of Orange County, the City of Newburgh, and the Newburgh Enlarged School District. B, published on July 12th, 2024, in the Times Herald Record, a newspaper of general circulation available to the city residents of the City of Newburgh, Orange County, New York. In addition, the executive director of the agency caused notice of this second public hearing to be posted on July 8, 2024, on the agency's website, and July 22, 2024, to be posted on a bulletin board located at City Hall, 83 Broadway, Newburgh, New York. Now, unless there is any objection, I'm going to suggest waiving the full reading of the notice of this second public hearing, and instead request that the full text of the notice of the second public hearing be inserted into the record of the second public hearing as Schedule A. The comments received today at the second public hearing will be presented to the members of the agency at or prior to the meeting, at which the members will consider whether to approve the undertaking of the proposed project by the agency and the granting by the agency of any financial assistance in excess of $100,000 with respect to the proposed project. Written comments. The notice of the second public hearing indicated that comments could be addressed to Sharice Vickers, Executive Director of the agency. I have received no written comments. We are going to now take remarks from the company regarding the change in the application.
Good. All right, very good. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Charlie Bazidlo. I am outside counsel for the applicant on the project. I'll be lights on. Good? Okay. I didn't tap it hard enough. Okay. So, all right. Anyway, I'll start again. Charlie Bazidlo, outside counsel for the applicant on the project. I think the introduction by the executive director kind of sums up the project, but I just want to be clear about or give a little more information about why we turned in the amended application. And that's very simple. The purpose of the amended application was just to clarify the fact that the project could result in a range of potential employment from about 37 jobs up to the 254 or so. And the reason for that is that we are building the project on spec. We don't have a tenant signed up at this point in time, and the amount of employees, the number of employees that could eventually work in this facility will be dependent upon the end user. It is a warehouse facility. It could be, as just to be brief about it, it could be a pack and pick type of operation that would have a large number of employees in it, in excess of 200. It could be something in the middle, in the 150 range or so, or it could be a facility where there'll be more bulk items stored here. And that type of operation would be much more automated, and you could have a low range down in the 30s. We don't know, because we don't know who the end user is going to be. We would hope it would be the higher number, but it could be that lower number. So we wanted to be clear about that in our amended application, because we understand that the job creation is a potential recapture event for the granting of the benefits. So that's what I'll say briefly about it. If there's any questions, I could certainly give some more information. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. We will now hear comments from Michael Indole from MRB, who is the one who conducted the cost-benefit analysis for this project.
Yeah, here we go. So as Chair mentioned, we conducted the original cost-benefit analysis. Tonight, I'm going to be presenting the revised cost-benefit analysis based on the revisions to the application that were received by the IDA. MRB Group is an independent third-party consultant to the IDA. We're working on behalf of the municipality, behalf of the public, I should say. I've done plenty of these studies before. The two analyses that we did with respect to this project were the test of reasonableness and this cost-benefit analysis. Tonight, I'm not going to go over the test of reasonableness. I did that at the last public hearing. Nothing has changed on that. The finding of the test of reasonableness was that the ask was a reasonable ask. So tonight, I'm going to flip through those slides. If anybody wants me to go through them, they're available. I can. But I was going to cover just the cost-benefit analysis. So as mentioned by the applicant, we moved from a single job number estimate to a range, a high-low range estimate. And in that case, it was 30 full-time and 1 part-time. For the low and the high scenario was 200 full-time and 25 part-time. All we did was we took the part-time, divided by 2, and we rounded to the nearest FTE. So in our analysis, you'll see it was 31 FTEs and 213 FTEs on the high. So as shown here in the table, we now have 2 different phases, right? We still have the construction phase and we have the operational phase. I'm not going to cover the construction phase. Nothing has changed since the original application. The change is really represented on the left-hand side of this slide, the bottom 2 tables. So you can see in the what would be the third table on the left, the direct jobs are listed at 31. The second column is indirect jobs. Those are jobs that are related to the multiplier effect, indirect and induced impacts related to those 31 jobs. That gives a total of 31 jobs in the low scenario. Earnings, we estimated in total for all 37 to be $2.9 million roughly. And I should say that we modeled all of these impacts across a variety of industrial sectors, because again, this is speculative. We don't know exactly what the industrial sector is going to be, so we used a blended average of some representative sectors. On the high side, that's the bottom table on the left, you can see it's 213 jobs. That's the 200 full-time jobs, the 25 part-time jobs, rounding 213 jobs. Multiplier effect jobs of 42 for total jobs of 255. Wages of roughly $19.9 million. The pilot schedule remains unchanged in terms of the benefits, because the cost-benefit analysis contemplates both the costs and the benefits. And you can see the pilot payment on the left totals $7.8 million. The value of the pilot abatement, that's $7.8 million, is $5.3 million more than the property tax that would be paid on that site without the project. So overall, the benefit, the increase in revenue, is $5.3 million. Cost. I'll just go back to here. The cost is the difference between what the applicant would pay in the full tax, which you can see at the bottom of this table is $12 million, and the pilot payments, which are $7.8 million. So the value of the abatement is $4.2 million. That's the value we used in the cost benefit. On the left are the fiscal benefits that we showed. $60,000 for one-time sales tax during construction. We have the $5.3 million in property tax. Depending on how many folks are employed and how much they're earning in wages, will change the amount of sales tax generated, which we estimate to be between $204,000 and $1.4 million during those 10 years. So that's people earning money at the site, spending locally. More jobs means more spending, and more spending means more tax dollars. That's why there's a range in that sales tax number. The exemptions are unchanged, as I mentioned, same sales tax. By the way, this table only represents the local cost that we have here, which is the county's portion of the sales tax, mortgage recording tax, and pilot exemption. So finally, our summary tables, which I realize are very hard to read at this distance, but the key here is that on the left is the low range. We have total costs of $5 million, total benefits of $46 million. That gives us a cost to benefits ratio, benefits to cost ratio of 9.18. On the right, the high range, that's with a lot more jobs. We have the same $5 million in cost, and we have local benefits of $233 million. Therefore, the benefit to cost ratio rises to 46.56. And that's the end of the analysis. I'm happy to cover anything in more detail should the question arise.
Thank you. Opening now the hearing to the floor for public comments. I will now open the second public hearing. I will now open the second public hearing for public comment at 6:19 p.m. We don't have a full room here, so I don't need to go through all the rules of what I would normally say. If anybody else wants to give a comment, they can sign in. Did you want to give a comment as well? Yeah? Okay. Just, it's good for the purposes of doing the minutes afterwards. If you could just give me your, fabulous. Thank you. Give me all your information there. No worries. Thank you. Yes.
My name's Kirk Phillips. I'm a
Okay.
veteran, and I'm passionate about jobs. That's kind of what I do. Without work,
Is it on? You didn't turn it off, Charlie, right?
didn't
Okay,
touch it.
it's on. Okay, good.
Without work, poverty is overwhelming, and the city needs the jobs. If there's anything I can do to help, I'm a long-term friend of Mayor Harvey, and please email me to keep me current. The pilot is a necessary mechanism, and that's all I can say. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll now invite Mr. Stoddard to come up and give some comments.
My name is Matthew Stoddard. I am the business manager of Local 417 Iron Workers, and I'm also an officer on the Hudson Valley Building Trades. Local labor is in 100% support of this project. It's coming at a time when local labor in the area is 20 to 30%, thank you, sir, thank you, 20 to 30% unemployed. And our workers are falling out, my workers and their families are falling out of health coverage because of the unemployment rate in the workforce. This project will bring back much needed jobs for construction trades in the area. And because of the insight of the City of Newburgh IDA, by putting together a labor policy with apprentice language attached to it, it's the best policy arguably in the whole state of New York. And with this policy, it will guarantee local labor will be on this local project. So with saying that, I'm asking the board to grant this pilot that is being requested, and let's put local labor back to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else that wants to give a comment? Okay. After requesting if there were any further comments, I close this public hearing at 6:22. Thank you for attending.